Hello class, today we are going to talk about how to write a good thesis statement. In class we have been doing research on your different topics, and by now you should have 4 really good sources and a good idea about the conversation surrounding your topic. In preparation for class on Monday, you need to have your thesis ready to go because in class we're going to peer review our thesis statements, and then we are going to work on writing our introductory paragraphs. So right now I'm going to show you how to write your thesis statement. Writing a thesis for an argument paper. I'm going to use this topic as an example. Should parents be allowed to track their children? But you will be writing a thesis statement with the resources and research that you have done over the past few weeks. Just so for some background with my topic, recently a new app has come out that enables parents to locate their children at all times. It also allows parents to look at what their children are doing on their phones, from what they view online to what they post on social media and even what they text to their friends. There's a big controversy over whether this is okay for parents to do and whether or not it is helpful. Step 1 to writing your thesis statement is to chart the reasons for both sides of the argument. To do this, I would make a chart that looks something like this. Look through the articles that you have found for your topic and find pieces of evidence that support both sides. Write down specific quotes from the text. It will help you later as you are writing your paper. For example, I found this quote from an article I read that encourages parents to track their children. It says, "Knowing where their kids are at all times allows parents to keep kids safe." I would put it under the for section of my chart. Do the same thing for the against section. I would try to have at least 7 to 8 reasons total that really stuck out to you as you were reading these articles. It is completely okay for one side to have more quotes than another. Now you need to decide what side you're on, whether you agree or disagree with the articles that you were reading. Once you've decided which side you are, then you need to write your claim or the start of your thesis statement. For my example, I would use one of these 2 claims for my thesis. The first one would be parents should not track their children. The second would be parents should track their children. I'm going to go with parents should not track their children. Next, we're going to go back to our for and against chart. Look at the reasons that support your side of the argument. Which ones are the most compelling to you? Choose 3. Now take these reasons and condense them into a few words. Now, as you can see, putting that quote into my thesis statement is going to be too long. So we're going to take that quote and we're going to pull out the reason behind the quote into a condensed few word statement. For example, children that are always monitored by their parents will be more likely to rebel. Starting with my claim, parents shouldn't track their children because if they do, their children will rebel. Repeat this process with all 3 of your reasons. Your end result should look something like this. Parents shouldn't track their children because if they do, their children will rebel, reason 1. They will lose their child's trust, reason 2. And it will ultimately prove ineffective, reason 3. One of the biggest mistakes I see students make in regard to thesis statements is that their reasons don't make sense to the reader without context. For example, my thesis statement might look something like this. Parents shouldn't track their children because of trust, respect, and it won't work. As the reader of your argument paper, I look at that and I have no idea what you mean. Is trust going to be broken? Is trust going to be built? Whose trust are we talking about? And what does it mean it won't work? Why won't it work? Make sure that your reasons are specific and clear so that somebody who just read your thesis statement would have a good idea about what you're going to talk about for the rest of your paper. Another option that you have is you can write your thesis in the form of 3 sentences. Just make sure that as you're doing this, you're only giving your reason and not arguing why your reasons are valid. This is a good example of making your thesis 3 sentences. And make sure that you don't forget your claim. So I'm going to start with my claim. Parents shouldn't track their children because their children will rebel against them. It will cause them to lose their child's trust. Finally, teaching your children internet safety is a more effective way to keep your child safe. Well, that's all I got for you. You've got this. Make sure, again, to write your thesis statement down on a piece of paper, have good, strong 3 reasons, and be prepared to discuss your thesis with your peers. My hope is that as you explain your thesis to your peers, you'll be able to come up with ideas for your reasoning paragraphs, your body paragraphs, and your introduction. And here's the credits. Thank you Google Slides, iMovie, Screenomatic, and myself for this great video. I'll see you guys on Monday.